Well, good morning, everyone. I'm glad we're gathered here together to learn some great things from our new friend, Udana Power. What an awesome last name, Power.
Thank you. Thank you.
So excited and so glad you're my friend. I love this quote that talks about that each friend represents a whole new world. And when we meet somebody, it might be inconsequential, or it could be a whole new world that's made possible by that meeting where this whole new world is born. And that's what we're doing, especially when we meet another person with intent of doing that. We're actually not just kind of bumping around saying hi, hello, but what if we actually had something to offer everyone, a wonderful gift that could change their life forever. And we actually did it methodically and deliberately. And that's what Udana has done. She's got a system. And this is where, when you meet people, the worst system would have is just meet somebody and about it. A little bit better would get their contact information and get it on a piece of paper. I've done a lot of those and then lost it, misplaced it. You need to be orderly in that. And the best system is the one that you like, because that's the one you'll use. But we're going to talk about a wonderful system that Udana has used before. And you're not new to this stage. A lot of us, when we're coming to this wonderful world of Avini that we're creating, we've already had a lot of experience and we know what to do. And a lot of us, when we come to this business, are just in our lives. So much of our happiness and success is our relationships. If you really think about it, when you're really having a lot of fun or things are happening, other people are involved. It just seems to be that way. And it's certainly what this is all about. Certainly business is people. I love that idea that if you don't understand people, you don't understand business. How could you have a business if there wasn't any people? And so the greatest businesses are the ones that have certainly the best service and things that we can do to people, but also where we can gather people and make them better because we're here. And this is just the ultimate business with a wonderful novelty of being at the very beginning of something that is so tried and true in every respect. But when you come to this business, especially if you've been around a while, you have a lot of relationships already. And it's wonderful that we call this relationship marketing. And so as we gather relationships and call on existing relationships and share the story, we want to do it really well and do it often and consistently and track it so we can follow up. One of my favorite thoughts, and it's true in my 40 plus years of experiencing this, is that it takes 4, 5, 6 individual touchings of a person before they respond and get involved. Certainly in other instances, when I first met my wife, I liked her a lot, but I didn't ask her to marry me that night. I just asked for a date. And a lot of ways, this is what we do in Avini is the same thing. We're calling somebody up and just asking for a date. It might be, hey, would you do me a favor? I just watched an amazing short video. It's a biochemist talking about something that I believe could be a scientific breakthrough. And I'm reaching out to you because I know you're interested in health and you're smart. Would you watch this if I send you the link? Well, now it's in their port, but you got to follow up and you got to track it and do all of those things. But that could be the beginning. My beginning 50 years ago, as I asked Valerie if I could dance with her, and she said yes. And well, we're still dancing. So anyway, I'm going to turn it over to you, Udana, and talk about your system and a little bit about you. So you've become another company millionaire through using this system. And
Yeah.
if you do it once, you can do it again. If you do it again and again and again, it becomes a habit. It becomes a part of you. And so we hope you'll have a system that becomes just instinctively a habit. And this is easy to do. That's one of the big things. So go ahead, Udana.
Okay, well, first of all, thank you for having me here. I love this company, and I was so grateful to meet everyone in Dallas, but then to come back and find out how extraordinary everyone is, real. And so I just, and on all the people who are giving calls and webinars and testimonials, and Rich Cotter, that amazing Avini Health training.com. First of all, I'm just grateful to be here. And blown away. So as we got started, I fell in love with this and used the products, and whoa, it was amazing. And then I would get people started, and then I would call them back 4 days later and say, "Hey, Nune, how's your pain?" And she'd say, "What pain?" And I go, "Wait a minute, you've been telling me for years you're in pain." And she's, "Oh, I forgot." And then that's when I began to realize, wait a minute, people forget. They need to realize where they started, and they need to understand right out of the box how to use the products for them. And as more and more people started coming in, I began to realize, oh, gee, let me bring out the old card system. So I want to share something with you because it works like gangbusters. And I have my whole business right here. I'm tracking right now about 40 people. And I have a card system that I'm going to describe to you right now. But this is the whole thing, and I can follow it. And I know exactly where people are, and I can call them up and continue the conversation. And I found it's the best way. I'm a techie girl. I love computers. I'm all over computers and programs and stuff like that. But this is a personal, emotional business. This is like inviting someone into your home for a party, or they're going to learn something, and you want to go open the door and welcome them, give them a big hug and orient them and introduce them to some people there. Because if you just leave the door open and have the computer offer them, something, and you're off doing something else, they're going to wander around and then drift out. They're not going to get what they want. So I'm doing this. This is low tech for a reason, and then we can bounce it to high tech. But let me remember, now I share a screen now, hold on. So I'm going to walk you through the whole thing, and it's really simple. Anyone can do it. And here's how it works. The recording will be here, and I've written a little article that's going to show you exactly how it all works so that you can see all of these slides again. So just sit back and go, oh, that's how it works. You want to get the overview. I've color coded everything because otherwise I would have a big desk that's like a snowstorm where I couldn't find anything. So when a person is a prospect, they're on a yellow card, and on this card I've got a place for their name. So when they get started, when they come in and the phone rings or I call them and I'm talking to them, I write their name down. And if I'm doing it for someone else, someone recommends somebody, I write that other person's name here. Room for everything, date, phone number, everything, their challenges. You want to start writing down their challenges. What's going on for them? On the back of the card, there's a date, notes, follow up. But you can start saying, oh my gosh, this is going on. Well, tell me more about that. Wow, how about this? And they'll tell you. And right here, I put down literally all the Avini products, the costs, the wholesale, the retail, so I didn't have to struggle and go find it. When a person is ready to sign up, and it usually takes about 6 touch tones for people to come in, you'll be able to pick up your card and know exactly where they were when you left off. You're not going to go, oh, wait a minute, who is this person? What were they doing? Okay, they know that you care. If they want to sign up by themselves, great, yeah. If they want you to take the information and sign up for it, everything's here. You got their date of birth, username, password, mailing address, shipping address. You can fill in this. I always tell them I will cut off the side of this card and shred it. I don't have this, won't keep your information in my office here at home. But this is the card. Once they come into and they sign up, they become either a customer or a distributor. And so the customer always has a pink card because I can identify it. There's the same exact things on the cards, but the customer's pink, and the distributor has got in an activation pack and they are green. And we're going to go through what's on the front and back of these cards and why. But you can see you want to staple it to the other card, to your yellow card. You keep the yellow card. So they come in, you staple either they're a distributor or they're a customer. Now you've got all the information you need. And when you get ready to talk to them again, you just pick it up and you pick up where you left off. Now you're going to say, how do you make these? Is it real easy? I just ordered, this is Astro Bright paper in different colors. I ordered it from Amazon. It was delivered to my door for $17. I went, oh, really? So you can get it there. I would get 65 card 65-pound cardstock. The 67-pound doesn't go through my printer very well, but 65 cardstock does. So I just make these on my own printer. Anybody can do it. Print them out front and back, okay? 2 in the front, 2 in the back. I just print out a whole bunch of them in the front, put them back in, print them out the back. Key here is I cut off an inch on the bottom. You'll see why. So then I'm left with 2 cards, 5 inches tall, 8.5 inches wide. And the reason I do that is, how did I learn this? I'm by an approximation, so that it fits underneath these little tab things, the A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So the alphabet organizer. So Santa Claus here, he's my guy this right now. So, but it's perfect size for the tabs. So you'll always be able to find them when you put them in your, and here's how I do it. This is my cat. This is my cat, Lily. She helps me. And I keep them in a napkin holder on my desk. So these are the guys I'm calling today. I'm following up here. And then these are people that I'm working with. And then what I also do, well, let me see. I have got another box and I'll show you where the box is. But here's what we have: phenomenal products. We have zero competition. This is not my vitamins are better than your vitamins. This is zero competition and everybody needs it. People are talking about it. You put it in any disease name into Google and put heavy metals afterward, and you're going to go, oh my gosh. We want to be able to give spectacular customer service. And what I noticed is that if I would just let somebody get the products and say hi every once in a while, and not, it's like inviting someone to your house and not going to the front door to welcome them and hug them or shake their hands and say, come on in, let me get you something. How about this? Would you like this? And let me have you meet that. If we get that handled, and as we start getting more and more people coming in, we want to be able to train our people how to track their people, and those people how to follow up with their people. That's the glue that holds this whole thing together. And the other part of it is your auto ship. That's what creates residual income. It creates proactive about your health, residual health. Yeah. I'm about being proactive in my health because I lost my health in my 30s, lost my whole acting career. And because I went down for 10 years, had a fungus in my body, and that was, had to figure out now what. Nobody knew what to do. And I did it through deep cellular cleansing. So that's one of the reasons I'm so passionate about this. We want to be able to create such amazing customer service that people feel wanted and needed, and oh, I'm so glad to be here, because there's chaos out there. So we want to welcome people at our door. So here's when Santa called and said, hey, I want to get started, or I'm interested in this, I start writing notes. And I write down what he needs, what he wants, okay? And what he'd like for some trim science, that's probably what he wants. But he wants to get a big pack because he wants his friend Rudolph, to be with him here. So I say, okay, guys, I make up a card for both of them, for whoever's coming in, going to be using the products. Rudolph is just a customer. Get them, but I make yellow card, I attach these to their yellow cards. I staple them. So I have all the information on them. I know where they've been. And I say, Santa, call me when you get in. When you get your products, call me. We're going to do a personal consultation so we can get you started in a really way. Let me coach you, show you how to use the products. Bingo. They're being taken care of. So then I turn the little card over, it's all written here, and I just start asking them questions. This is an emotional business. This is a business of trust, of connecting with people. And I know we've all heard that we want them to know you, like you, and trust you. Well, we also want to build trust by asking questions, waiting for the answer and acknowledging the answer, and then asking another question, okay? Because then they get to start talking about what's important to them, what their vision is, and they feel cared for. And you become a great conversationalist with saying hardly anything. Okay. First question, primary focus. What is your primary focus now? You already know some of it, but it's amazing how people forget. And then they'll start adding things a little later. What do you have any other health goals? Well, Santa wants to walk or fast walk a 5K. Okay. He wants to. So 90-day focus. What else do you want to do? What's your 90-day? We want to get them stopping from thinking about this week and how do I do this? But wait a minute, where do I want to be at the end of this month? And where do I want to be in 90 days? Now, all of a sudden their mind is casting forth an idea and you're capturing it down and you're holding it for them. What any medications? We're not doctors, but it'll be interesting to see if they start getting off their medications. They may, who knows? I don't know. But it's interesting. How long have you desired to accomplish this goal? It's just, again, they start talking some more. What's important to them? And then what will your life be like when it's accomplished? Oh, when we start talking to people and waiting for the answers and hearing what they have to say and what they want and need, people are amazing, the things they've accomplished. And we want to help them get to that next stage of their own personal growth process, to grow into the rest of the next part of who they are. So when we get right down to here, it says rate them on the grid to start and on the front of the card. So if you turn the card over, and I put this on the front because this is what you're going to be looking at most of the time. You're going to see there's this little grid and it starts, here's the start, here's where they start. But week 1, week 2, week 3, we're going to call them and we're going to ask them to rate themselves just subjectively on a scale of 1 to 10. Where's your general energy right now? Where's your general health right now? And where's your energy? 10 is perfect. 1 is like, I can't get out of bed. Like, how is your sleep doing? Do you sleep well? I sleep all night like a baby. 10, 1. We're going to do that for stress levels. How's your pain levels? Pain is perfect. No pain is a 10. 1 is ouch. You've got memory, emotions, and they can add what they want. And they will come up with things that they forgot to tell you before. That's what's interesting. Things that are important to track. Same with Rudolph, and you can put extra notes in here, but now you've got it. So when you know them better, they feel like they're being heard and you can coach them for the next step. Then we go back down to the back and you want to show them and talk to them about the best way to use the products. And I'm going to walk you through this little product instructions pack for people who get the advantage, the activation packs. And I'll show you a couple of little documents I send, those instructions of how to use them, as well as this, what I call important numbers. But you want to ask them if they want to be in the WhatsApp group. You don't want to just put them there. You want to ask them, would they like to be? Because some people aren't ready for it. And if they are, you send them an invitation. It's a private invitation. Your upline knows where you may have it already. Your upline will have it if they don't. But then just pick up the phone and say, hey, would you like to meet a couple other people? Introduce them to another team member. And that team member, hey, welcome. Here's my number. If you need me, I'm here. If you're not around, here it is. But they get to know, and they'll get to know a little bit about that person's story. Oh my gosh, I belong to a party. Oh, there's other people here. Wow. Introduce them to about 2 people. Doesn't have to be long conversations, but once there's a feeling of like, oh my gosh, there's a group of people and they all care for me. I'm not alone. And again, it starts creating trust and relationship and like, whew, there's a sane place in this world. Systems run your business and people run the systems. Every time the phone rings, you don't want to be scrambling and what do I do now? Systems, we need to have a system that we can run. Otherwise we can't grow big. We're always like in chaos. So, and I have this little thing that I say, it came to me as I was writing this other class. Be interested, be helpful, have fun. Be interested, be helpful, have fun. We get to create what we want in our world. And it does come to us through other people. And everybody's out there trying to pitch something, trying to sell something, trying to get it into you. Oh, you got to do this, you got to do that. Don't be that person. That little conversation in the back of your head, when am I going to bring it up? When am I going to talk about my thing? When am I going to tell him? And when can I interrupt him so that I can talk about my thing? Don't do that. Be interested in them. Be helpful. Practice that when you're out someplace. Oh my gosh, can I open that door for you? Hey, how are you? You be the one in the elevator who makes a joke. Have fun. It's like the sun comes out. There's a big, beautiful garden. The sun comes out and all the little flowers turn around and they go look at the sun and everything starts to bloom. Everything turns towards the sun. You be the sun coming out. This is the little document that I was going to say, one of the documents I said to send them so they can print it out. And there they get all in one place. Because see, people are starting, they're not where you are, they don't know what this is, they're starting with chaos around, oh my gosh, now they're frantic to get their health handled. Place to put the username, password, their website, their ID number, your name and phone number, your time zone, your uplines, people they've talked to, if they've done three-way calls. You can go out to the amazing avinitraining.com that Rich Cotter did. Oh my gosh, thank you, Rich. And all of you who contributed to that, spectacular. Holy mackerel. The Zoom calls, I mean, what this community is doing, I want to say thank you again. What you're doing is spectacular. So you can tell them the Zoom calls and the webinars or something every night. They can go find it on anywhere on lines 20 to 31. Write down your favorite ones, what you want to look at. They'll get curious. Send them a few more short videos. Facebook page, but there's plenty of room for them to write names of other team members. It's all in one place. Because what I found out before is people just have scattered information. They don't even occur to them to put it all in one place. And then they don't have a little hub to keep stability. When I wrote this at the beginning, because I felt I wanted to understand it and I wanted my people to understand it and to be able to grok it or grasp it really quickly. So this is a little article, how the activation pack products work, what's in them, how they work, so they can review them. And I specifically put articles, the links aren't here, but I put little quotes from the American Heart Association. But it's basically, we live in toxic soup. We forget this. I've been in health and I didn't realize the level of what's going on and how this works. Clean and healthy body can help itself. We can't get away from heavy metals. This is just a very light overview, but on every single one of the products they're going to get in the activation pack. And I did add the trim science. I'm going to add the hydration, but each one has a photograph of what it looks like. Again, it's all brand new to them. What the product does, what's different about it, what the regular dose is, and what the crisis dose is, because there's some people that need crisis dose. And then just a little, a quick tip on each one of them. They can print this out. They can keep writing as you share with them what their best process is. We know how simple this is. And that's another one of the benefits as well as the challenges. They don't have to stop eating for this to work. They don't have to fast, which is amazing, but it's so simple. It's like, did anything really happen? How could those little drops just do all of that? That's why we want to guide them through this so they really, really understand what this science is, because it's so subtle, so simple. It's like, wow. Anyway, I can track people. I still have people from my other business. I have a stack of cards about that. Hi, that's how I can put them. I can put them in, I can put them who to give a personal consultation, a follow-up. I can file them like that. I can file them A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And again, this is my cat, Lily. She helps. I put them in the ones that I'm working on right now, I put them in little napkin holders that you can get anywhere on my desk. But the computer comes in because, see, when you're talking to them, you want to be able to make notes. You don't want to be clattering your computer. You can't be doing that because then it disconnects the emotion The communication is in the emotion. The emotion, the connection is the carrier vibe for the words. So, but then you make categories. You may have a CRM on your, or some kind of a category you want to do. And Rich Cotter showed me how he uses a thing online for free called Trello, where you can put categories up and move your people from prospects to prospects follow up, so you can keep track. Who do I follow up today? Because when you start building and it starts going fast, you're going to have a lot of people, and you want to be able to check in on people. Who are your personal consultants, and who are the consultations? Who do you need to do a consultation with, and who do you need to follow up on, and who are your distributors, and who are your business builders that you want to work with, and who are the customers? How are you checking in on them? So I just move them from category to category, but I use the cards all the time, because without the cards, I wouldn't be able to pick up in the conversation where I left off. So we live in a world where everything is getting automated and more automated, and there is no competition here, because a lot of people are doing heavy sales and they're doing AI, and AI is spectacular. Computers are wonderful, and they cannot give you a hug. They cannot love you. Your biggest strength is who you are as a human being and how much you care. So I'm going to invite you to aim for ordinary. You don't have to be perfect at this. You want to aim to just show up as you and be all there. Don't try to be perfect. Perfect is really boring, and we cut off parts of ourselves when we're trying to be perfect. And then it becomes about us rather than about them. Okay, you're welcoming someone into your life, into your home. Hey, how you doing? Ask questions. Wait for the answer. Acknowledge you got the answer. Write it down and ask another question. That's the key thing I learned when I started taking some business classes. People will forget what you said. They will forget what you did. And they will never forget how you made them feel. That's Maya Angelou. And I think Barb Emden says that too. Just be human. People don't care what you know until they know how much you care. I don't know who said that. I learned that a long time ago when I started in this industry. This is an industry that's emotional. It's connection. You just don't show up for a job and go, and just plug it in. And you have to show up and be there. That's what's so spectacular about this. This is how we really grow. And it's all fueled by loving. And loving is a verb. It's an ing. It's a doing. You want to love people right where they are. You're asking them questions. You're gonna find out what their accomplishments are, what they've already done, and what they're looking on doing next. And our job is to hold that energy field for them to be able to grow into that next great part of themselves. It's not up to us to do it for them. That's a temptation. You can't do it for them, but you can hold that place for them to go, I can do that. I can take a couple of drops every couple of hours. I can do that. I can spray some things in my mouth and it'll really work. Oh my gosh, I can have a little fiber before I have my meal. We can love them and hold that space for them like a great gardener. We can keep the dogs out of the garden. They're not going to bury their bone. That's Lily. She wants to come in and join. She's enjoying the energy. Anyway, be interested, be helpful, have fun. Be interested, be helpful, have fun. There's people all around you. You're going to meet them all the time. And when you find out what they're needing and wanting, here's what I do. Oh my gosh, I've got an idea. Let me help you with that. And I give them my phone. I open my phone and I'll get their number and I will call them back. That's a whole other little training about how to meet people, how to interview people for work. That's a whole other training. But this is a person to person. These are people helping people, and that's what makes it fun. Anyway, and that's it. That's the card system. And then it's back to you, Dave.
Yeah, well, if you know what to do, you're more likely to do it. And so I love having a recipe.
There we go. Okay.
Well, thank you so much. And as far as a system, wow, we want a system. I noticed you quoted Michael Gerber there about systems and things like that.
You're well, and all of these are out there.
And anyway, what's really awesome is we've got Udana. She's already sent all of the PDFs. All this stuff is on avinihealth.com. So yeah, just go to avinihealth.com and everything is there. And I was just going to say, you quoted Michael Gerber as far as systems, and he's famous for that. Go ahead. You go ahead if you want. Okay, I'll go ahead.
No, and they're out on there. They're already. My system came up with. I'm in Los Angeles. They're at on line 262 to 266.
Okay, awesome. All right. Well, one of the big quotes I love in the E-Myth, which is, if you're wondering, E-Myth, what does that mean? E is for entrepreneur, and all of these people that are starting businesses, they, according to Michael Gerber, they think they're entrepreneurs, but an entrepreneur deals in systems, and most businesses, they're sole proprietor, and they just created themselves a job. And he goes on the idea that if your job, your business requires your personal attendance there, you've just created your own job rather than a business. And the whole idea of a real business is teaching other people a system and multiplying yourself out. And a big business began as a small business, but it had systems and became big. And so this is big deal stuff, because we want to have a big business, not a sole proprietorship. Hey, just one passing thought here. You went to a convention. We do these in Avini twice a year. So the next one coming up is in April. I think one of the most productive things that you can do is gather people around you, get them excited, and then get them to go to the convention. And so can you talk about that? What did that do for you as far as Avini and where you're at when you went to that?
It was amazing. I thought to myself, well, I don't need rah to get me to work, but I wanted to meet the people. I'm so grateful. You kept saying, you got to get there. You got to get there. I said, okay. And because I was really, really busy and involved in something else. But when I showed up, the people, oh my gosh, and everyone was sincere. They were kind, and everyone had a testimony. And meeting Rick and Neil, and you in person, I'd met you on the phone, but being able to hug you and say, hey, it was a whole different thing. I realized it wasn't about rah. It's not about, ooh, look at me, my new Botox. It's not about that. It's about real people helping people, and watching Rick on the stage talking about these things was never ending, fascinating. So I'm really grateful, and that's what really did it for me. So I'm excited to go back with a full team in the springtime. So that's why I'm putting all this in order. I said, oh my gosh, we got to get a system to hold what's happening. By the way, over the weekend, Eric Worre said in this big event over the weekend, he said, this next 2 years is going to be like a gold rush for network marketing. So we are poised for something huge and to really move into momentum. And when you're in momentum, it's like this big wave goes behind you and starts carrying you to shore. We can accomplish so much in the next 2 years if we just put our blinders on and focus. And you got to have a system. Try this one. I think you'll find that it works. I'd had people show up and they'd be waving their cards around saying, yeah, thank you. Try this one. If not this one, then make another one for yourself. This one took me from 46 cents in the bank at one point to becoming a multimillionaire. So I can't think of anything better than this touch, but if you can, great. But you got to find something to make it work and get to convention. Yes.
All right. Well, success is doing the right things every day, day after day, and then it multiplies.
just,
So, wow, we got some good stuff to multiply. So thanks everybody. And Udana, we'll see you on
thank
the
you.
highway.
You definitely will. You'll see me in the springtime in Las Vegas.
For sure. Take care.
Okay. Thank